Namaste, my witchlings, and welcome back to Die the Yoga Witch podcast. I am your host, Di, your favorite yoga witch, and tonight I invite you all to step with me into the whispers of the wild, onto the path of the witch. So, before we get going and before we really dive in here, let's all get comfy. If you're at home, why don't you light a candle? And if you're listening to me on the go, number one, please be careful. We will be doing a couple of visualizations, but just kind of take a breath, soften your shoulders, and just kind of let all of the stress go. We have been traveling through September's theme of learning and knowledge. Last week, we explored the beginner's mind, that fresh, curious way of approaching the world. And tonight, we turn to a different kind of learning. The knowledge that doesn't come from books. The wisdom that doesn't come from classrooms. This is learning that comes from the earth beneath your feet, from the moon above your head, from the whisper of your own intuition. This is the knowledge of the witch. Put my glasses on. All right, my lovelies. Let's start here with the word witch. For centuries, this word was spit out like venom. Used... So sorry about that, y'all. For centuries, this word witch was spit out like venom. Used to demonize, to ostracize, to control. Witches were painted as villains. Green skin, hooked noses, broomsticks, and cackles. But that was not an accident. That one was a deliberate rewriting of history. Because in truth, witch often meant healer, midwife, herbalist, diviner, wise one. People who worked with plants, with cycles, with the unseen. People who carried knowledge that didn't fit neatly into the sanctioned boxes of church or state. Those people threatened authority. And so the word witch became a weapon. But witchlings, today we can reclaim it. We say, yes, I am a witch. And in that reclamation, I can speak. And with that reclamation, we step into sovereignty. So, little personal story here for you. For me, that reclamation is very deeply tied to my heritage. My blood carries Scottish, Irish, Prussian, and English roots. My husband's family brings Scottish, Irish, and English as well, woven in with some Native American and Filipino. Together, our home practice is uniquely ours, a tapestry of traditions, rituals, and values that honor where we have come from and where we're going. And it's not just me, and it's not just him. We've raised 3 kids with witchcraft in their lives. 2 of them still walk this path with us. 1 chose differently. But you know what? That's sovereignty too. Witchcraft does not chain you. It frees you to choose your own truth, to choose your own path. And then, of course, we have a certain almost 10-year-old familiar, Chief Purball McFuzzbutt, 9 years old for another week and a half, black as midnight and outranking every dog in the house because, of course, my cat had to outrank the dogs. He supervises spells by, just kind of sprawling across the altar. Sometimes magic is deadly serious. Sometimes it chitters as it watches a squirrel. But I love my cat. And yes, that was my altar he was standing on in that picture. How he didn't break my candle holders, I still don't know. But reclaiming witch isn't just personal. It is cultural. When we call ourselves witches, we honor all those who came before us, the healers who burned, the midwives who were hanged, the outcasts who were stoned. We say their wisdom did not die. And we also carve a path forward, because modern witchcraft is not just about cauldrons and candles. It's about living magically, living intentionally, living authentically. It is about reclaiming power in a world that too often tells us we're powerless. Think about it. How many times have you been told to dim yourself, tone yourself down because you're too much, to quiet your intuition, to ignore your intuition? Oh, he's not that bad. He's not a bad guy. He would never hurt a fly. And to shrink your magic so it doesn't scare anyone. Reclaiming Witch says, no fucking more. All right, now. You don't say. Go talk to Dad. Sorry, y'all. All right, so we're going to do a brief guided practice. So if you can, if you are driving, please do not. But if you can, close your eyes for just a moment. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now whisper to yourself, either out loud or in your mind, I am a witch. Notice how that feels in your body. Do you feel resistance? Do you feel power? Maybe both. Now, whisper again, I am sovereign. I am whole. That's reclamation, and that is naming yourself. All right, got a couple of journaling prompts for you because this witch loves journaling prompts. They will be on social media and the blog later in case you don't have the time to actually write them down now. So the first one is, what does the word witch mean to me personally? Thank you. Where in my life do I need to reclaim power that others have tried to take from me? How does it feel in my body when I say out loud, I am a witch? All of the journal prompts that I will be giving tonight are in the description box, and they will be shared in the blog soon. And that, my darling witchlings, is the heart of witchcraft. Sovereignty, self-knowledge, reclamation. So, when I say, yes, I am a witch, I'm not only claiming my identity, I am honoring my ancestors. I'm weaving a path for my children and my grandchildren. I'm carving out space for magic to exist in a world that so desperately needs it. And my invitation to you, witchlings, is this. Whisper it. Write it. Live it. Reclaim it for yourself. Nature. Nature is our first teacher. Before books, before classrooms, before podcasts like this one, our ancestors looked to the sky, to the soil, to the rivers and the trees. Every cycle, every season, every element had something to teach. The moon waxes and wanes, and she reminds us that it's okay to grow and it's okay to rest. The wheel of the year spins, planting in spring, flourishing in summer, harvesting in autumn, and resting in winter. We burn out when we try to stay in summer all year long. Gee, ask me how we know that one. And the elements, earth grounding, air inspiring, fire transforming, and water flowing. They're not just abstract concepts to us. They live inside of us, in our breath, in our bones, in our blood. Give me a second. I'm going to put this back on because I look funny. That's better. Ish. All right. Here's a little anecdote for y'all. I remember a time a few years back when I was pushing myself way too hard. Which, if you've known me and been with me here for a while, you're well aware that I do that. I was writing. I'm a prolific journaler and blogger. I was teaching, mothering, caregiving, and trying to keep all those plates spinning, keep them up in the air, you know? And one night I stepped outside to walk the dogs and just to get a breath of fresh air. The moon was waning and just kind of sliding towards darkness. And I stood there barefoot on the grass and suddenly realized the moon rests, the trees rest during winter, the garden rests. Why did I believe that I wasn't allowed to? We won't go there yet, but that right there was nature teaching me. The same way the waves teach us that retreat is as important as the crash against the shore. The same way that autumn leaves teach us that letting go can be beautiful. Nature doesn't apologize for her cycles, and neither should we. Not that cycle. All right, we have another guided practice here, so let's try something together. If you're in a position where you can, just pause for a moment. Close your eyes and picture a place in nature that feels safe, that feels safe for you. Maybe it's in the woods or on the beach, a meadow, or even just a single tree that you pass by every day. Take a slow breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Now, imagine asking this place, what do you have to teach me right now? What do you hear? Maybe it's a word, maybe an image, or maybe just a feeling. Don't judge it. Just notice it. Take another deep breath in and exhale slowly. And then when you're ready, gently open up your eyes again. More journaling prompts. Which season of the wheel of the year feels most like home to me, and why? What is nature trying to teach me in this exact moment of my life? Where in my life am I resisting rest, flow, or change? And that, my witchlings, that's the gift of nature. She teaches without words, without books. She teaches through cycles, through elements, through silence. And the invitation is simple. Go outside, even for just a couple of minutes. Put your feet on the earth. Whisper to the wind, to the moon, or to a tree near you. Ask, what do you have to teach me? And then listen. Your intuition is your compass. From the time we're small, so many of us are taught not to trust it. We're told to listen to authority, follow the rules, and believe what the good book says. Intuition gets dismissed as silly, childish, or irrational. But witchlings, your intuition is your inner witch voice. It is the first spell that you ever cast. Think about it. How many times have you known something in your gut before your brain could explain it? I got 2 examples for you. When I was a young teenager, I think I was 12 at the time, I went with my parents to meet the couple who were managing an apartment complex that my parents were going to be taking over. From the first moment I spotted the husband, my skin just crawled. Everything in me screamed, danger, danger, danger. Later, I've learned that he was fired for crossing boundaries, making inappropriate comments, and maybe worse than that. My intuition was screaming the truth before anyone confirmed it. Another example here. Difficult conversations. I have learned over time that my body knows what's coming. I get nauseated, my stomach churns, and sometimes I even get kind of refluxy before I have to have a difficult conversation with someone. My body is my compass saying, hey, pay attention. Something's about to happen. And I'm willing to bet that you guys have stories just like this too. Sometimes when you just knew. Ow, I have cat fur in my nose. Sorry. So, how do we strengthen that inner compass, that intuition? I got some ideas for you. Dream journaling. This is a popular one. First thing in the morning, before you touch your phone or anything, jot down what you remember of your dreams, even if it's just fragments. Over time, you are going to start to see patterns. Intuitive walks. Oh, I love these. Just leave the house without a plan. At each corner or each option to, choose a direction, pause. Turn left or right based on what your gut says. Let your body guide you. Divination. Use your tarot, your oracle cards, or your runes. These tools don't necessarily predict the future. They mirror back what your intuition is already whispering at you. Finally, we have embodied wisdom. Pay attention to your body's yes and no. For me, the truth feels like an expansion in my chest, like my heart is growing. Kind of the way my chest feels when I inhale a little bit, you know. I'm at peace. Falsehood, lies, those feel like a knot in my stomach and like something is just kind of clamping shut. Okay, we have another guided practice. Let's do this together. Again, if you are not able to close your eyes, please don't, especially if you are driving. So, let's practice together. Close your eyes if you can. Take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Bring to mind a choice that you're facing right now. It doesn't have to be a huge one. Maybe it's whether to take on a project or call a friend or even just a minor change to your routine. And hold it very gently in your mind. Now, ask yourself, if I say yes to this, what does my body feel like? Do you sense openness, expansion, or relief? Now ask, if I say no, what does my body feel like? Do you feel tightness, some constriction, or just some general unease? Or maybe it's the other way around. You feel the tightness, constriction, and unease when you think about saying yes to this. It's always possible. And this is your inner compass. This is your witch voice. Take one more breath in and sigh it out. Gently open your eyes if you had them closed. More journaling prompts. When was the last time I trusted my intuition, and what happened? What does a yes feel like in my body? What does a no feel like? How can I honor my intuition more consistently this week? Your intuition is not random. It's not silly. It's not weak. It is your first spell, your compass, your inner witch calling you home. Let's talk our Sanskrit word of the week, Jnana. It is spelled Jnana. Gana means wisdom or knowledge, but not the kind of knowledge we memorize for a test or the kind that sits dusty in a book on the shelf, right? Gana is direct knowing, wisdom that comes through experience, through living, through embodiment. In yoga, there's even an entire path called Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom. It's about piercing through illusion and falsehood to experience truth for yourself. Not because someone told you, not because you read it, but because you lived it. And doesn't that resonate with the witch's path as well? We can read 100 books about spells, correspondences, about history, but until you stir your coffee with intention and whisper your gratitude into it, until you stand barefoot under the moon and feel her light sinking into your skin, until you trust your gut instinct even when the world tells you you're wrong, it's just theory. Knowledge in your head is potential. Knowledge in action, that's magic. For me, my darling witchlings, one of the deepest lessons of Jnana came through my body. I battled postpartum depression after my oldest was born so badly. People around me told me to, be strong, put mind over matter, pull myself up by my bootstraps. That was head knowledge, ideas, advice, and judgment. But my body taught me a very different truth. My body decided to show me the reality of the exhaustion, of despair, of chemical imbalance. And when I finally listened, when I finally went in and got into treatment and got the correct treatment, when I honored my limits instead of shaming myself, because, why don't I love my child? Why isn't this the easiest thing I've ever done like everybody says it's going to? When I honored my limits instead of doing all of that, that was embodied wisdom. That was Gana. The lived knowledge that my healing had to come from honoring my truth, not denying it. And in my magical practice, Gana comes in through repetition. The first time I cast a circle, I was definitely just following the steps in a book. By the 10th time, my body already knew where the circle was. My skin tingled, the air thickened, and my intuition felt the boundaries. That's the shift from knowledge to wisdom, from reading about magic to becoming it. All right, guided reflection time. We're going to do this again. I want to invite all of you to do a short practice here right now. Again, if you are driving, do not close your eyes. So, close your eyes if you can, and take a breath in through your nose, and sigh out through your mouth. Bring to mind something you've learned recently. Maybe a lesson from a book, advice from a friend, or maybe even a piece of wisdom that you heard in this very podcast. Now, ask yourself, have I lived this? Have I embodied it? Do I know it in my bones? Or is it still free-floating in my head? What would it look like to turn this piece of knowledge into lived experience, into practice, into magic? When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And here are the journaling prompts for this section. Where in my life am I holding knowledge that I have not yet embodied? What wisdom have I gained through direct experience, and how has it changed me? What step can I take this week to turn head knowledge into lived wisdom? And that, my witchlings, is Gana. Not just reading, not just listening, but living, practicing, embodying. Knowledge in your head, again, is potential. Knowledge in action, there's your magic. Let's check in with the chat right quick and then we'll get back. Alright. Yes, I am not watching the chat doing while I'm talking for the most part. Oh, this is... Wow, y'all have been busy. Thank you, Angel. You guys make me happy. Oops. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so very much. Y'all ready to talk about some daily practices and how we can actually embody the path of the witch in everyday life? All right, so it is so flippin' easy here to picture witchcraft as big rituals, ceremonial robes, and dramatic spell work under a full moon, right? Don't get me wrong. Those moments have power. I won't disagree there. But the absolute truth here, the path of the witch lives in the little things and the sacredness hidden right out in plain sight. There are 5 pillars that I have found in my own practice. Reconnect with nature. That is the basis of everything pagan, I will be honest. Embrace your power, your voice, your intuition, your own gifts. Learn and experiment. Yup. Learning and experimenting, that's how we learn everything, right? And then, finally, and most importantly, practice self-care as sacred. This is not something you can skip. This is not something you can put off. Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary and it is sacred. All right, so let's go into detail. Reconnect with nature. This could be something as simple as tending a houseplant with care, being a good pet or plant parent, walking barefoot in the grass and actually earthing, or noticing the moon phase when you step outside at night. How often do we do that? In my own life, one of my daily anchors is these guys, walking the dogs. And yes, there are times when it is absolute chaos because I got the little guy in one hand and Tooker's in the other, and they're going opposite directions. Does that not sound like so much fun? But even then, I pause and I pay attention to the way the air feels right now. I glance at the sky to check the moon, and that moment of awareness makes it so much more than a chore. It then becomes a practice, a ritual, a sacred event. So, a prompt for this: how can I weave a thread of connection to nature into my own daily routine? Maybe it's something as simple as taking your first cup of coffee or tea for the morning and sitting on the front porch and just listening to the nature around you. Next, let's talk cultivating intuition. We've already talked earlier about how our intuition is our compass, but daily practice is what strengthens it. So pull a card first thing in the morning, not for prediction, but to ask, what energy might I meet today? And pay attention to how it shows up. Or, again, a dream journal next to your bed. Jot down a word or two or a sentence or two first thing in the morning. Over the weeks, you will notice the patterns that you never expected. Such as you have a certain theme that pops back up. Mine was flying. I used to swim through the air. So here's your prompt for this. What is one daily ritual that I could start that would strengthen my intuition? Ooh, I need to do that one. Next, we are embracing our power. This doesn't mean domination. Let me say that again. Embracing your power does not mean domination. It means sovereignty, owning your choices. It might be saying no when you are tempted to be a people pleaser. It might be protecting your time for rest, even when that to-do list is screaming because it's 5 miles long. For me, embracing my power looks like lighting a candle before I teach or record a class, and I whisper to myself, this is sacred work. And suddenly it truly is. Our question here, where in my daily life am I being asked to stand in my power? Learn and experiment. Witchcraft is living, it's breathing. That means trying things, keeping what resonates and releasing what doesn't. Maybe you read about an herb like rosemary for protection. Try adding it to your cooking with intention. Maybe you hear about a chant. Speak it out loud and see how it lands. Does your body feel better saying it? Do you feel kind of with it? Okay, live and learn. And there are times when things are just going to flop. I have tried a new incense a time or two that I thought was going to smell really, really, really amazing, and it smelled like the dog had had an accident. It smelled like, you know, Did it work? Maybe it did. Did I learn from it? No. And that here is the heart of the witch's path. Experiment, adapt, grow. So our question for this one is, where can I allow myself to be curious and experimental in my craft this week? That's a good question. And finally, this one, and I'm going to harp on this now and again because it's something I need to remember for myself. Practice self-care as sacred. Self-care is not selfish. I'm going to say that again because so many of us have been taught it is. Self-care is not selfish. It's part of the craft. When you honor your body, your mind, your spirit, and your energy, bolsters, it strengthens, it gets better. What might look like a bath with herbs and bath salts, whispering your stress into the water and letting it drain away, that is making self-care ritual and sacred. It could be a single deep breath before you go to bed, saying thank you to your body for carrying you through yet another day. For me, it's my coffee. I stir my coffee clockwise to bring in what I need, counterclockwise to release what no longer serves me. It's small, but powerful and effective. What self-care ritual can I reclaim as sacred this week is your question for this. All right, let's see. I'm going to take a sip, and then we got a little... So what self-care ritual can I reclaim as sacred this week? All right. We have a little mini ritual here. This is going to be fun. If you have something at hand, just grab whatever is in front of you. A cup of water, candle, pen, anything. So I'm going to go with my rose quartz egg. All right. Hold it in your hands. Close your eyes. If you're driving, please don't. Close your eyes and whisper, I claim this as sacred. Now, imagine using this object today with intention. Drinking the water as medicine, lighting your candle as focus, writing with the pen that you grabbed as a spell of expression, or for me, using this as a reminder that there is love around me. That totally did not. Anyway, so remember, y'all, it's not about waiting for the perfect moon. Whoopsie, now open your eyes, my loves. And that's our daily witchcraft. Wow, my brain glitched. So, remember here, it's not about waiting for the perfect moon or the grand ceremony with the smells and the bells. It is all about weaving magic into the everyday. Stir your coffee with intention. Whisper gratitude to your ancestors. Take a single solitary breath before bed and call it sacred. Because, my witchlings, when you live that way, every day and everything is a spell. Okay, witchlings, I am super freaking excited. Witchy 101 is going to be coming soon. I am so excited to do this. We're going to cover tools, we're going to cover history, we're going to cover everyday magic, and then we will have our Witchy 201. Whoop. And yes, hello. But we're covering tools, history, everyday magic, altar, all kinds of fun stuff. And then I am even working on Witchy 201. And yes, there will be a Spellcraft 101 on the way as well. This podcast here is our hearth fire, and these courses will be our grimoire. I am so looking forward to sharing. All right, y'all. I'm sure y'all are getting tired of listening to me hack. So before we close today, let's ground together. Wherever you are, settle in. Place your feet on the earth if you can, i.e. on the floor. If you are seated, feel the chair holding you. If you're lying down, just let the surface beneath you just cradle you. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale, filling your lungs, your belly, your chest. And exhale fully and allow your shoulders to drop. Now, bring one hand to your heart and place the other on your belly and just feel the rhythm of your breath, the steady rise and fall. Whisper softly if you wish, "Here I am present." Now, imagine roots growing from the soles of your feet, sinking down deep into the earth, strong, steady, deep. They reach through the soil, through the stone, into the molten heart of the earth. Feel yourself anchored, supported, grounded. Now, above your head, picture the night sky. The moon luminous, stars scattered like glittering little sparks. Imagine a thread of silver light pouring down from the sky down into the crown of your head. As you breathe, feel energy moving, roots drawing up nourishment from below, the moonlight streaming in from above, meeting in your heart, in your belly. This, my witchlings, is your cauldron, and this is your magic. Whisper with me. I am a witch. I am sovereign. I am whole. Say it again, louder and stronger. I am a witch. I am sovereign. I am whole. Now, my witchlings, carry this energy with you out into the world and go out there and spread love, spread joy, and spread kindness. There is already too much darkness and hate. We are the beacons of light and hope. Tell your loved ones, human, scaly, feathered, and furry, that you love them and they mean the world to you, because you never know when that last chance will be, and that 2 a.m. phone call sucks. And know this with every fiber of your being. You are loved. You are wanted. You are needed, and you do genuinely have a purpose here, even if you haven't found it yet. I love you guys so much, my witchlings. Go out and have a beautiful rest of your day or night, wherever you are. I love you guys to bits. Namaste, witchlings. Your subscription ensures you never miss a moment of mystical insight, especially if you ring that bell, for a deeper dive into exclusive content, behind-the-scenes glimpses, bonus blog posts, monthly rituals, and my weekly yoga classes. Consider popping over to Patreon and joining the coven there. If you're feeling particularly generous, a virtual coffee is always appreciated. This Gen X witch, raised on 80s vibes, thrives on caffeine and a dash of well-placed sarcasm. Are you seeking personalized guidance? Well, in that case, visit yogawithdylin.com to schedule a one-on-one yoga session where we can work together to restore balance and alignment to your mind, body, and spirit. I'm honored to craft meaningful rituals and services for all life's milestones. House blessings, cleansings, spiritual life coaching, and personalized tarot and pendulum readings are also available. Check out those offerings at dietheyogawitch.com. Don't miss out on your daily doses of divination. Tune in tomorrow for another episode, Monday through Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. And there's even more enchantment to weave into your week. Join me for our weekly rituals. Sundays, let's all gather around the cauldron for coffee and cues with Die the Yoga Witch at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays. Bring your favorite brew and we'll delve into the mystical and the everyday, answering your questions and sharing the witchy wisdom I've gathered over the last 3 decades. Thursdays, tune into Die the Yoga Witch podcast for a fusion of yoga and witchcraft designed to inspire and uplift. Friday and Saturday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Seattle time, we offer some unique experiences. Fridays are for relaxation and interconnection. We zen our way into the weekend and unwind with guided meditation or yoga nidra asana, tapping into your inner magic and bringing that magical life into your yoga practice. Saturday evenings, brace yourself for Bitch and Witch Angry Veteran Rants. I will be tackling current events that spark my passionate opinions, offering perspectives and suggestions for positive change.